Selling lies and buying time, killing people next in line. Lower class and social slime, they don't matter. Genocide, sick from water, sick from air. Making money, they don't care. Caesar shit, force of air. Fuck them back, it's only for they bomb. They shoot, they kill, they massacre, rape. They burn the kids, no one leaves gun. Trees, laugh to your face, fight and die. Cause God forgives. Selling lies and buying time, killing people next in line. Lower class and social side, they don't matter. Genocide, sick from water, sick from air. Making money, they don't care. See the shit, force of bear. Fuck them back, that's only fair. They bomb, they shoot, they kill, they massacre, rape. They burn the kids, no one leaves countries. Lie to your face, fight and die, cause God forgives. Yeah. Coming back around again.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ron Stevens. It's the Game On, and it is December 24, 2015. And so, I don't know, depends where you live here. I guess the East Coast. We'll be seeing this odd duck that runs around in a sleigh coming over the horizon. And he's going to break into every home in Canada, the United States, all around the world tonight, and going to break into your house and leave some presents. If you don't have a chimney, he likes chimneys, so if you don't have one and you live on the West Coast, you probably still have time to construct one. If you know a friend in the construction business, call him up immediately and said, hell, man, we need a chimney. A wide one, because the guy's fat. I wonder how old Santa Claus is now. I'm 61, and he was around long before me, so Santa Claus, well, he must be getting old. But he's still getting down those chimneys, so that's good. And he's still ripping across the sky in that sleigh. And it's all good. And the children are all waiting for Santa to come, and that's good. And when they're about 10 years old, 8 years old, somewhere between 8 and 10, they're going to realize that they've been had. But you see, they're getting benefits at Christmas, so they're not going to let on that they know what's cooking. They're not going to let on that, geez, Mom and Dad, we don't have a chimney. We've never had a chimney. How's he getting in the house? Oh, we leave a window open. Oh, all right. So next Christmas, I'm going to need even more gifts, right? Because, I get benefits this time of year. And that just gets the kids all rocking and rolling mentally to you get conned into the idea of government benefits. Because it's a lot like Santa Claus, isn't it? They go in their house and they write stuff up and they say, we'll give you a benefit. And everybody's happy, apparently, until they find out they got screwed on that benefit. So I hope all the little boys and girls this Christmas get all the little goodies they want. I know I looked forward to Christmas when I was a little kid. And but you won't likely be getting a Red Ryder BB gun because, well, we look down upon that sort of thing now. I did see a Sears ad from the 1950s, I think it was, late 50s, early 60s, where the family, the mom and the dad and the son, and I think maybe a younger son and a daughter. The kids were all holding rifles, and the whole family had a big grin on their faces. It was a good time. That's before this fear-mongering garbage and that started. A gun was just a gun. That's all a gun was. It wasn't some rabid outfit that was going to run rampant throughout your neighborhood, shooting everyone in sight for whatever political reason or religious reason that might be bothering them that day. No, it was just a tool. It was a simple tool. And the kids were actually, I know I was encouraged to become a good marksman by the school, no less. The school wanted me to be a good marksman. And now what we have instead of teaching kids marksmanship at school, because we'd have a gun range in the school, today, my local high school, the kids can't play baseball because the baseball bat has been deemed a weapon. So, each Christmas that goes by gets a little weirder. So that's what we got. There's that old song. I was thinking that old song before I come on air. That old song, Jingle Bells, whatever it is, right? What is it? Jingle bells, jingle bells. Give me the next line, huh? What? What the hell is that? I forgot it. What is it? Oh, yes. Jingle bells, oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. That's the old song. The new song, you better know this song because it's jingle bells, oh, what fun it used to be to ride in a one-horse unregistered sleigh. Today, it's probably you get pulled over and, yeah. Could I see your license, registration, insurance, please? Pardon me? Your license, registration, insurance, please. Excuse me, officer. Like I'm with the fam here, and we're riding through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. You get any of that, officer? Well, yes, but they just passed some legislation last week that you now have to register, license, and insure your one-horse open sleigh because there's a lot of money to be made in this, and, well, we want it. So if you're going to enjoy your one-horse open sleigh, you better cough up the documentation. Toot sweet. Well, officer, it's, the night before Christmas, and all through the house shit, like lighten up. Well, don't look at me. I'm just doing my job. And regardless of what kind of asinine legislation they may pass this year or any other year, well, don't look at me. I'm not the bad guy, of course, because I'm just doing my job. So if you don't have your registration, your insurance, and your license for your one-horse open sleigh, well, I guess I'm going to have to arrest the family, and you're going to be spending the night in the pokey. Everybody got that? So, while this kind of nonsense is going on, we have all of these people who are destroying our lives and are forever tightening the noose around our neck. These same people at this time of year will come out and tell us how wonderful Christmas is and what it stands for. And of course, they're all lying to you, and they're all propagandists. But this is the time of year, that we want peace, even though the people that's saying, we're going to strive for peace. I've heard this ever since I could hear. We're going to strive for peace. That's what we want. We want world peace this Christmas season. And that's what we're going to do over the season and into the new year. We're going to bring world peace because, well, if we can't have world peace, well, what the hell can we have? Apparently not a ride in a one-horse open sleigh. That's what we can't have. But so these morons, these lunatics, these psychopaths, these sociopaths come forward to the microphones this time of year and tell us all the wonderful things that they're going to strive for in the coming year. Meanwhile, the bombs are dropping, and the people are going homeless, and the people are getting hungry, and they're standing in food lines in the richest countries in the entire freaking planet. And here we are. So I see a thing here that the Pope urges, and you got to listen to the Pope. Eh? I mean, the Pope. I mean, what if you can't listen to the Pope? Who can you listen to, huh? I mean, he is the Vicar of Christ after all, so it is Christmas after all. So who else would you want to listen to but the Pope, who seems to be the Vicar of Christ? The Pope urges those intoxicated by consumerism to return to essential values. That's what he wants. He wants you, he's praying here with his paganistic nonsense and his crooked cross. But anyways, Pope Francis led the world's 1.2 billion Roman Catholics into Christmas on Thursday, urging those intoxicated by possessions and superficial appearances to return to the essential values of life. Celebrating a Christmas Eve Mass in St. Peter's Basilica, Francis, whose nearly 3-year-old papacy has been marked by calls for sobriety and compassion for the less fortunate, said Christmas was the time to once more discover who we are. Well, we know who you are, Pope. You're a freaking Jesuit jackass. Okay, so who are we discovering who we are? Maybe you ought to go look in the mirror, you popish idiot, and say, I'm in charge of all the evil on the planet. This is brilliant. So when he's telling you to de-intoxify yourself, if that's a word, by possessions and superficial appearances, to return to the essential values of life, what he's really saying is we intend to bankrupt this planet, and we're going to take everything from you, and we're going to put it into our hands. The world we want. People get confused with that statement. We are one, and the world we want. It's not the world you want. Okay, it's the world they want. We are they. You are in the gun sights, so to speak. Anyways, he said everyone should allow the simplicity of the child Jesus, born into poverty in a manger despite his divinity, to infuse their spirit and inspire their lives. This is the same jackass, I believe, said he's not even sure if Jesus ever existed. But it's Christmas, so we can let go of the other rhetoric that they were spreading around. In a society so often intoxicated, geez, I really like this, say that word, intoxicated by consumerism and hedonism, wealth and extravagance. Wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken, he just described the Vatican. Anyways, appearances and narcissism. This child calls us to act soberly, in other words, in a way that is simple, balanced, consistent, capable of seeing and doing what is essential. The service for about 10,000 people in St. Peter's Basilica started with a long chant in Latin, known as the Calenda, the traditional proclamation of the birth of Jesus. The great bells of St. Peter's then rang out, and the Pope, dressed in his white vestments, kissed the statue of the infant Jesus to start the solemn Mass. Well, shouldn't it be a happy Mass? Why would it be a solemn Mass, right? Why would it be solemn? You are supposedly celebrating the birth of Christ, but you have a solemn Mass. You also have, the Pope and the boys also have a couple other Masses. They have all kinds of Masses, but two of the Masses they have are a blue Mass and a red Mass. The red Mass being for the lying politicians, and the blue Mass being for the military and the police forces who enforce what the lying politicians created in order to destroy your life. Anyways, the great bells of St. Peter, there we go. Security was tighter than normal for Christmas, with many police carrying out spot checks in the Vatican area. Everyone who entered the Basilica, the largest church in Christendom, went through metal detectors. Well, here we have the Vicar of Christ, who should have no fear of death whatsoever, surrounded by gun-toting cops, but you shouldn't have a gun because you shouldn't be protected. And you shouldn't be allowed to protect yourself because, of course, there's these policemen running around and metal detectors, so that this Vicar of Christ can feel safe. I don't recall Christ himself ever having a bunch of bodyguards around him. or metal detectors. What happens, happens. So let's see, the 79-year-old Argentine Jesuit, I'm going to keep putting Jesuit in. They haven't put the word Jesuit in here yet. I'll just throw it in wherever I feel like it. The 79-year-old Jesuit Argentine Pope encapsulated in his homilies some of the key themes of his papacy, or papacy, I guess they call it: mercy, compassion, empathy, and just us. Or was that just is? Oh, I believe it's just us. In a world which all too often is merciless to the sinner and lenient to the sin, we need to cultivate a strong sense of justice to discern and do God's will, he said. Well, God's will is do not be deceived. God's will is follow me, not some jackass with a fish hat on his head, some Jesuit jackass surrounded by cops and metal detectors and that. So I don't know what God he's talking about. Of course I do, because Martin Luther said that when he was in Rome, people were walking around saying if there is a hell, Rome is built upon it. And so we know what God, the fish hat man, is following. Otherwise, they would have built a telescope with Jesus on it or the Creator on it, or something to that effect. I doubt very much, with all the words and all the analogies and anagrams and all that stuff on the planet, I really can't see, with all the options out there, why they would pick Lucifer for the name of their new telescope. But he is a Jesuit. Francis, who said earlier this week he had a slight flu, seemed tired, and spoke with a slightly hoarse voice at times. Oh, praise be the Pope. Please get better, Mr. Pope. Let's all pray for the slightly sick Pope. While not changing fundamental church doctrine, Francis has been calling for a more merciful and less judgmental church, one that is more compassionate towards groups such as the homosexuals and the divorced who have civilly remarried. Conservatives have criticized some of his statements, such as the now famous "Who am I to judge" comment about homosexuals who are seeking God and had goodwill. The conservatives say statements like these only sow confusion among the faithful. Well, you got to go back, faithful. What'd it say? Don't be deceived. You can read or you can listen to the funny man with the fish hat on. And then you will be totally confused. Anyways, the Pope said child Jesus was calling on everyone to rethink the way they treat others amid a culture of indifference which not frequently turns ruthless. Our style of life should instead be devout, filled with empathy, compassion, and mercy, drawn daily from the well springs of prayer, he said. On Christmas Day, Francis will deliver the traditional Urbi et Orbi to the city and the world message from the central balcony of St. Peter's Square, from where he first appeared in the world after his election on March the 13th, 2013. Lovely. I'm so happy that you stepped forward to give us those words of stupidity, Mr. Pope. Let me see. Where am I here? That's CBC. I want to see if I can find any more of these wonderful let's see, where are all these wonderful words going into Christmas here? I mean, maybe we're a little bit too early yet. And when we got a dad here, it's going to be a good Christmas. A single dad netted $7,000 by crowdfunding. Well, that's a good Christmas. Warm Christmas Eve smashes record, turns Nathan Phillips Square rink into a pond. Well, that's good. Throw some fish in it and go fishing this Christmas. Or we can glorify the lunacy of climate change and blame the warm season on climate change, of which we know is a crock of nonsense. Let's see. It makes them very happy. The Northwest Territory inmates spread Christmas cheer. That's a nice thing. RCMP confirmed basic details of YouTube video linking Edmonton's max killings to another crime. And that was a sad story. It really was. Smarten up, people. Well, this is nice. Canadian Tire adds 33 types of holiday collection lights to safety recall. So get those lights tore down, and let's make this a dark Christmas. I really don't see too much in here. Let's see. Oh, I see they got the mosque. I think that was in Peterborough. Ontario mosque hit by arson following Paris attacks reopens. Geez, that's good. Let's see. I don't see too much. I don't see too much in here that's very Christmassy. Let's try something else here. Oh, let's see here. Oh, it's not going to come out till tomorrow, I guess. You'll have to stay. You'll have to stay on top of this. Trudeau to write exclusive Christmas column for the Toronto Star. I almost believe, I don't believe it at all. But, I know that our premier, Kathleen Wynne, is a lesbian. And I know that people on the people that put the school curriculum together, I know there's lots of pedophiles involved in that, and one of them, Levin, got busted for child pornography or child sex or whatever it was, who helped put the sex education program together. But you see Trudeau and Wynne all over the place, just gazing in each other's eyes. I put up a picture. And I got to put up the other picture I found now, because I do have a picture of Trudeau at a gay pride parade sitting beside Wynne, the premier. So we have the prime minister now who sitting with the premier at a gay pride parade, all happy as all get out there with a little rainbow flag on his lap, and just staring at Wynne, just staring at her. Oh. So I don't know if he's trying to get into her pants or not, but Justin, she's a lesbian. You do know what that is, Justin? Like you're a mindless idiot. I can't do much about that. Anyways, an exclusive column for the Toronto Star, Prime Minister Trudeau is going to write a special message for Canadians for the Christmas holidays. Outlines his thoughts about family, generosity, and sacrifices at this time of year and his plans for 2016. It's supposed to be representative government, right? We were told we were given, I guess that's a benefit or a gift we were given. We didn't create it. The people on these lands didn't create it. Same as the United States, a small group of people that got together and said, guess what? We're giving you a responsible government. Well, isn't that wonderful? Who the hell asked for one? Well, it doesn't matter. We're just going to give you one anyways, right? We concocted this nonsense. We're going to enslave you the rest of your life, and we're going to steal from you. Every day we're going to steal from you. And so we thought we would call it a responsible government. It's supposed to be representative government, though. And, he's going to tell us, I guess, about his plans for 2016 because, well, I guess he's our representative. And he knows what we want because he's that intelligent. And he may get some of that intelligence from hanging out with Kathleen Wynne. Not. But no, these are all just, UN minions. World government minions. They have no brains. They just do as they told, and they flop around in front of the cameras and say stupid stuff, and then people discuss it and go, I don't like that, or I do like this. Anyways, the column will appear on Christmas Day on Toronto Star Touch, our popular new tablet app available on Apple iPads and Android table devices or tablet devices. The app was downloaded more than 100,000 times by readers in the first 6 weeks, and that number continues to grow daily. The Prime Minister's message will also be published on Boxing Day in our print edition and on thestar.com, our main news website. The Star does not publish a print edition on Christmas Day. So therefore, if you wish to, get a heads up on the plans for these lands by the federal prime minister, who is an employee of the Queen, who is basically a subject of the Pope, if you are really interested in what Justin Trudeau has planned for you in 2016, you best hope, if you don't already have an Apple iPad, of which I don't have, and an Android tablet devices, which I don't have, you can download the app and learn before me, actually, because I won't see it till Boxing Day when I go look at a paper, and I don't read the paper, I don't buy the paper, I'll just look at the headline, it'll pretty much tell me what's cooking there. Anyways, so he's going to publish this on they're going to publish it on Boxing Day. The exclusive message is part of a special Christmas Day package of news and features that will be published on Toronto Star Touch, including a comprehensive series of stories and profiles on the World Junior Hockey Tournament that opens Saturday in Helsinki, Finland. In his message, Trudeau shares his thoughts about why he loves this time of year, about sharing the holidays with his wife and 3 children. He speaks of sacrifices by members of the Canadian Armed Forces to help make the world a safer place, of the generosity of spirit and volunteerism that exists across this country and that can be seen in thousands of offers to sponsor Syrian refugee families. Well, that's lovely. He also talks about his government's priorities for 2016, including introducing tax cuts, sounds like a benefit, people, for the middle class, and a new child benefit for families. So please, if you're having a child, or you think you're having a child, or you're about to have a child, remember, don't forget to get sucked into registering your child, because the Trudeau government is going to up the ante on child benefits. Those are benefits you receive when you register your newborn child to the state, and where they plagiarize the given name that you give the child, which is literary theft, which is kidnapping of the child, which, according to etymology, is actually theft of the child. Okay, so for you allowing them to steal your child and to plagiarize the name and turn it into a commercial certificate, which they can trade, they are offering you a better package of child benefits. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Doesn't Christmas just make your heart soar? Oh my goodness, Justin Trudeau, my buddy, what a wonderful man. Anyways, in addition to our special preview of the World Junior Hockey Championships, I don't know how this hockey championship keeps getting into this thing with Trudeau, but that's how they write stuff now. So you can go there and you can go to the Toronto Star Touch at Team Canada and other squads in the 10-team tournament being held in Helsinki. Yada, yada, yada. We back on to, we follow this down more hockey, and then we flip back to all this and more on Christmas Day, exclusively on the Toronto Star Touch tablet app and on Boxing Day in the Saturday Star and on the star.com website. Hope you enjoy it. That's what they say. We hope you enjoy it. We also wish all our readers a happy holiday season, because we're not allowed to say Merry Christmas anymore because, well, we've inputted so many people from so many different cultures now who, well, they don't get Christmas and so on and so forth. So this is from John Cruikshank, publisher of the Toronto Star, president of Star Media Group. This is a wonderful thing that he's telling us. Makes me all warm and fuzzy inside. Let's see. Let's go here and see. Okay, Wynne is Justin's buddy, she wants federal help, Justin's help, right? Justin's help. She would like Justin to help in regulating medical and recreational pot. That's wonderful. The Ontario Premier has previously suggested the Liquor Control Board of Ontario sell marijuana once it's legal, so a clear distinction is made between medical and recreational sales. So let's see. Oh, here we go. This might be interesting. Oh, geez, there's a picture of Wynne again. MPPs wish you a Merry Christmas in writing. And here's Kathleen Wynne. This is a lovely picture of Kathleen Wynne holding somebody's kid. And I don't know what she's doing with the kid because she's a lesbian and she's a minion of the United Nations, which wants to cull the population. And her sex education program encourages people to become transsexuals and homosexuals and lesbians so that you don't have any children. And here she is holding a child. Isn't that rather ironic? You'll be forgiven. You'll, Y-U-L-E, isn't that funny? You'll be forgiven if you think mailing out Christmas cards is passé for the iPad clutching BlackBerry wielding politicians of today. At Queen's Park, MPPs of all political stripes take precious time away from their Twitter, Facebook, Instagram accounts to personally sign carefully selected, customized cards to send to constituents, supporters, and friends. Here are some of the scores of greetings received at Star's Queen's Park Bureau this holiday. Premier Kathleen Wynne, the Liberal Premier, distributes a staggering 48,000 cards annually. This year's effort boasts a beaming Wynne with her two daughters, her son, her granddaughters and grandson, and spouse, Jane Routhwaite. All are supporting patriotic Hudson's Bay Company Canadian gear while hiking in a forest. Inside there are seasonal greetings in 31 different languages. Well, that's going to piss off a lot of people in Ontario because according to what I read, there's something like 120 freaking languages in the Greater Toronto Area, and it's only a seasonal greeting in 31 languages. So you want to might up that number of languages. It used to be when you come to Canada, you learn to speak one or two languages, English or French, or both. But now we've got something like 120 of the damn things or more. But I find this all are sporting patriotic Hudson's Bay Company Canadian gear. Well, they have it's a Hudson's Bay jacket with a big maple leaf on it, and that's right, because Canada is, make no mistake about it, Canada is nothing more than a rebranded Hudson's Bay Company, just like the East India Company, just like the Virginia Company, and what was the other company down in the States there? These are all companies. So let's see. So yeah, it's all good. Hudson's Bay Company gear while hiking in a forest. These are the forests you won't be able to hike into as you're driven into the inner cities of the cities, into your little wee eco boxes, if you want to call them that, where you will get very little water and probably even less electricity. And over the years, your meat intake will continue to fall because, well, you don't want to be eating animals, and you don't want to be in the forest because, well, it's just not good for the planet. Anyways, who else is progressive conservative leader Patrick Brown? Now this clown, who people go, oh wow, he's gonna do well. He's just another jackass minion, just like the rest of them. But anyways, the rookie Tory chief will send out 12,000 cards this Christmas, his first since taking the party's helm in May. Brown is a bachelor, opted for a family portrait Brown, a bachelor, opted for a family portrait on the steps inside the Ontario Legislative Assembly. He is with his 101-year-old grandmother, his parents, his sister, brother-in-law, and two toddler nephews. Lovely, lovely, lovely. NDP leader Andre Horowitz, the veteran NDP party boss, will be mailing out about 11,000 cards this holiday season. A single mother of an adult son chose a candid photograph of her making Christmas cards with school-age children at the Immigrant Working Center in her hometown of Hamilton. Yes, stick with the immigrants and screw everybody else. Lovely message. Green Party leader Michael Schreiner, as the only major party leader without a seat at Queen's Park. Schreiner doesn't have an MPP's postal budget, so he sent out 1,000 cards. He and his wife and daughters posed on a farm outside Guelph for a card on recycled paper. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful there, Michael. By an environmentally friendly, waterless printing company. Well, we are so proud of you, my friend. Let's see. Liberal MPP Stephen Del Duca, the bald transportation minister and Vaughan MPP, cheekily opted for a photo of his family outside Tom's Barber Shop and Men's Hairstyling, which was located in a Woodbridge Avenue cottage dating back to 1919. The salon operated for 14 years before the building was moved to Woodbridge Fairgrounds. Wonderful. Progressive MPP Lisa MacLeod. Now, here's a piece of work, this woman. I ain't got time to get into her work, but real piece of work. Anyways, the affable Nepean Carleton MPP and her husband, Joe Varnier, are shown enjoying a stroll near the Vimy Ridge Memorial in Barrhaven, Claudette's Kane Park, while their energetic 10-year-old daughter, Victoria, clad in her Nepean Wildcats hockey jacket, shows off her handstand skills picked up at Nepean Corona Gymnastics. Isn't that sweet? What a wonderful thing. So we got people at war memorials. We got people prancing around in the forest. We got people being patriotic in their Hudson's Bay / Canada jackets. Who else we got here? Progressive Conservative MPP Laurie Scott, the Halliburton Kawartha Lakes Brock MPP, has been long known for her impish Christmas cards, and this year effort is no exception. Scott and her horse, Minnie Prince Hardy, are posing with Panitas and a feisty terrier. Ask Anna to take him back, reads the inside of the card, presumably quoting her unhappy steed. Well, that is funny and impish, isn't it? This is so pathetic, I can't even stand it. What else we got here? Thanks to all the controversy surrounding last February's Sudbury by-election, the former NDP MPP turned Liberal MPP card merits analysis. It is an it's in the autumn scene of Thibault with his family and their dogs, though it's hard to say if the leaves are turning from NDP orange to Liberal red or vice versa. Well, isn't that humorous, boys and girls? And Tim Hudak, Progressive Conservative MPP Tim Hudak, the Niagara West Glenbrook MPP and former Tory leader, has found new political life promoting regulation of the sharing economy, such as Uber, which is straight out of the frickin' United Nations. I mean, give me a break. If I was a taxi driver, I would be some irritated by these clowns, because that's what they are. But they're all minions, little puppet strings on every single one of these clowns. This Christmas, he shares a picture of his wife, Deb Hutton, and daughters Miller and Maitland, the Miller and Maitland girls, and their Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever, Tavish, at home in Wellandport. Isn't that a lovely thing, too? And then at the bottom here, we have a nice little picture. Goodwill to all from Liberal MPP Kevin Flynn, the Labour Minister, labors long and hard to select his Christmas card. And he has all year to do it because he doesn't accomplish anything for the people all year long. So he has the entire year to labor hard to select his Christmas card for this time of year. Flynn's choice features the artwork of two students from St. Ignatius of Loyola Catholic secondary school in his riding of Oakville. That's Jesuit crap, but that's okay. We can live with it. The cover is by grade 11 student Taylor Tabery Dorick, while the back is by Doreen Zeng. How would someone with the last name Zheng end up with the first name Doreen? Are we living in a messed up land or what? A grade 12 student. Anyways, that's just some of the folks here, and I'm sure you can go to your neck of the woods, wherever you live this Christmas holiday season. I'm sure you can go. It doesn't matter. I'm sure the cards in California, right off the top, from the from the politicians out in the West Coast, I'm sure they are crazy cards. But where it doesn't matter where you live, you're gonna run into the same garbage, and all these treasonous dogs. These globalists, these internationalists who are pretending that they give a damn about you or your neighborhood or your people or the schools or what's being taught to the children in the schools. This is what they do. And I'm sure there's people out there reading these cards and saying, oh, isn't that a lovely card? Oh, they care. Well, me personally, I can't even get an appointment with my MPP, even though I ran in the 2007 provincial election. I can't get one with my MPP. My MPP will not meet with me. No how, no way, nowhere. Because, she knows what I know, and she doesn't want me to hear for me to sit in the office and explain to her what I know and what she should know. If she doesn't know, of course she knows, because she's in government, and she knows pretty much that none of them represent you. They know that. I actually had an MPP once tell me that. We don't represent the people, right? Because they don't take an oath to the people. They take an oath to the head of state, which is the Queen, who is subject to the Pope. So you can say everyone here takes an oath to that guy with a fish hat, and so we need to. Everybody should hopefully have a few days off this time of year, and I hope that they take this time to just quietly look at what's going on here and understand that we have to change this. Because while they're wishing us the merriest of happy holidays and all that kind of stuff, on the one hand, and smiling at us, they have a knife that they would like to run in between their shoulder blades, I guess. These people cannot be trusted. They should not be trusted. And for them to have the balls, the audacity to come out and wish us the very best this holiday season, they can't bring themselves to Christmas, we need to do something about it here. Now, here, what are they doing over here in Iraq? Let me see here. There's really nothing in these papers, not here, that I've run across that really have anything much to do with anything. Oh, God, help me out here. I got two stories. Which am I going to push on? South America's first transgender pregnancy for a couple in Ecuador. And I also have Iraq's Christian community defying extremists for Christmas. Okay? And like I've said for a long, long time, two things got to go. Two things have got to go. The American Constitution and Christianity. And I don't care if you consider yourself a Christian or an atheist or whatever the hell it is you consider yourself. The fact of the matter is, if they can wipe out the Constitution and the Christian faith, it doesn't matter what you profess to be, you're screwed. It's that simple. Okay, those are the two roadblocks that have stood in the way of these dicks getting their world government for eons, and they're doing everything in their power now to tear those two last, solid feet, I guess, that hold up the West. And they're bound and determined, while they smile and wish us the holiday wishes, same as a fish hat over there at the Vatican, while they're talking to you, why that's what their words are saying to you, that is not their intention. Okay, they do not have your best interests at heart. So I'm really looking forward to 2016. It's going to become a very, very interesting time as they push harder. How much time I got? Okay, I got to do this. South America's first transgendered pregnancy for a couple in Ecuador. The father-to-be carrying the naturally conceived child of his transgendered partner has received widespread attention on social media. Well, I have never heard of it. A couple in Ecuador is making history with a new pregnancy. The father-to-be is carrying the baby of his transgendered partner. And does this sound messed up to you yet? I got to do that again, just so I get it. A couple in Ecuador is making history with unique pregnancy. The father-to-be is carrying the baby of his transgendered partner. Fernando and Diane announced their pregnancy, believed to be the first of its kind in South America, on social media earlier this month, and it's received widespread attention in a continent that has seen a sudden explosion in the rights and visibility of trans people, and it all comes out of the United Nations. Okay, everything stupid and twisted and weird and sick is coming from UN agendas, from if not all at the same time, from the different agencies and that are attached to it. It's just bloody ridiculous. Rodriguez, who was born Luis, is one of Ecuador's most prominent LGBT activists, and says she and her Venezuelan-born partner, whose birth name was Maria, decided to publicize the pregnancy to help change attitudes in this staunchly Roman Catholic society. Although both take hormones, neither has undergone gender reassignment surgery, so the child-to-be was conceived the old-fashioned way with no known medical complications to date. We're trying to break the myths about transsexuality, Rodriguez told the Associated Press. So far, church leaders have remained silent, something that Rodriguez says both surprises and pleases her. The church is always criticizing gays and homosexuals for adopting children, so it would be a contradiction to criticize us for giving birth naturally, she said from her home, wherever I can't pronounce. The trans community has made major advances across South America. About 6 months ago, Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos issued a decree allowing individuals to change their gender on the national ID cards with little more than a trip to the public notary. To date, at least 304 people have made the switch. Argentina has gone even further with legislation guaranteeing free hormone treatment and gender reassignment surgery. However, trans people still face widespread discrimination in the region. Between 2008 and 2011, 79% of the murders of transgender people reported throughout the world took place in Latin America, with a total of 664 cases, according to a study by International AIDS Alliance, which you can bet is either an NGO or an arm of the United Nations. What a wonderful world we live in, eh, boys and girls? Isn't that just freaking wonderful? Now, back to Ontario, where I live here. I want to read this to you. It was sent to me, and we really need to get our act together, all right? It is our responsibility. Oh, and I got some good news about the youth. I'm going to do that right now. My wife's brother, his grandson by marriage, who, by the way, is not transgendered, which is a good sign. My brother-in-law was trying to tell his grandson that, about Justin Trudeau. Well, the kids are all being plied at the schools about climate change and how Harper was anti-environment and all this kind of crap, not explaining to the kids that they're all puppets and they're all playing their part. But they got the kids all jacked up about Trudeau. He's the man. He's the guy. He understands the youth. Well, the youth don't understand the youth. Okay? So Wayne was trying to explain to his grandson, Matt, that, maybe you want to look into this a little bit, And so, the youth, they always do this every generation. They try to separate the youth from the parents because they're always moving society to where they want it. And so they sucker my generation, next generation, to keep them all separated, divide and conquer kind of thing. So amazingly, Matt, who is quite an intelligent guy, I think he's around 19 or 20 now. He's going to university up in Ottawa or somewhere. But I guess he took a look into it. And then he went back to his grandpa, and he was a little disappointed. And he says, "You know what, Grandpa? I've just discovered they're all the same. Bingo." So it is important that we get to the youth. Very, very important that we get to the youth. So we got to talk to them, we got to teach them, and we got to shine the light on the bullshit that's being taught to them in the schools by their lying little crappy, I want a pension at the end of this, teachers, and we got to get the kids on board. Anyways, I got this sent to me today. Ontario's government's expert panel wants euthanasia for children 12 and under. This is from December 2016. It is on LifeSite News, and it says a stacked deck of pro-euthanasia academics has recommended that children 12 years of age or younger be eligible for assisted suicide or euthanasia and palliative care hospices. That palliative care hospices, religious-based care providers, and health professionals must violate their consciences to aid and abet state-mandated killing of patients in care. It's pretty awful with disability rights. It's pretty awful was disability rights advocate Amy Hasbrook's reaction to the just-released recommendations of the Ontario government, grandly named Provincial Territorial Expert Advisory Group on Physician-Assisted Dying. Okay, now I should really try and grab that link and throw it in the chat. I haven't been to that link yet. I haven't had time, but I think I should go there. I think everybody should go there because, you see, they're teaching the kids that climate change is real, which, of course, it isn't. Climate change is real, but that we cause it. And the next stage of this is to convince the people what they've said all along. Therefore, man is the enemy. That we should accept euthanasia, and I think a lot of that has to do with they're depressing the hell out of everybody with all of this ridiculous nonsense about the earth and the trouble it's in and all that kind of stuff that people are generally getting depressed. But anyways, it's not about that. And this actually points out a few things. Now, I sent you the link. I'm reading the story that the link came from. It says that, let's see, Hasbrook, the director of Not Dead Yet, says the advisory group obviously didn't feel it necessary to protect the vulnerable, the handicapped, and the elderly. We had to fight to keep my mother-in-law out of their grip a couple of times. They were more than willing to put her down. The Ontario government picked public advocates of assisted suicide, such as Maureen Taylor, Joyce Downey, and Arthur Schaefer, while others said, however, were University of Biotechnicists and with no experience treating the terminally ill. She said the federal external panel on euthanasia, on the other hand, was led by an advocate for the disabled and palliative care doctor. And he's a palliative care doctor. But just 10 days ago, the Liberal government changed the federal panel's mandate from providing recommendations to merely reporting what concerned groups and individuals told it. So this would be like the gays and the transsexuals. These are the people that end up on these panels. Okay, the pedophiles end up on the sex education panels. This is really twisted stuff. The Liberals didn't want recommendations from a conservative panel, says Outbreak, especially one oriented differently than the advisory group picked by the Ontario Liberal government. So the only recommendations the federal government will look at will be these from the Ontario Advisory Group. Chief among the objections to the recommendations is absence of safeguards. The patient's own consent becomes his or her main protection, with two doctors attesting beforehand that the patient requested euthanasia or assisted suicide voluntarily and while of sound mind. The whole problem has to do with consent, said Larry Werther of the Christian Medical and Dental Association, representing 1,700 doctors. For any other medical, the doctor must believe it is good for the patient before they do it. The Hippocratic oath, do no harm, right? But not this one. That means people who are depressed after being advised of a terminal illness or having suffered a disability injury can kill themselves before they recover their will to live. Doctors see it all the time, he says. And Hausbrick agrees that suicidal thoughts frequently result from disabling injuries, but patients just as often recover their desire or will to live over time. And you see, they're going to be pumped with this nonsense constantly. It's always brainwashing. It's always propaganda. Okay? And again, it doesn't matter what is true. It only matters what we get you to believe is true. Anyways, because consent is the advisory group's chief criterion, the recommendation is it recommends children judged mature enough to reach informed consent, and that I guess is the age of 12, will be allowed to get assisted suicide or euthanasia too at whatever age. The idea of an arbitrary age limit and people suffering intolerably and waiting days, weeks, and months to die because they haven't reached that limit seems morally unacceptable, said University of Manitoba ethicist Arthur Schaefer. Yada, 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 yada. So now they're going to, they always do this incrementally, right? First of all, it's the really aged. Do you really want to put your aging grandmother through this? Just let her go. We can help her go quietly and peacefully. And now they've ratcheted down to 12-year-olds, okay? Sex education used to be taught in school when people were actually starting to mature. And now they want to teach them about that they are sexual beings from the moment of birth. Okay, which just sets them up for the pedophiles and totally messes their heads up and totally destroys their childhood. Okay, and yet these governments, this very government, this Ontario government, who puts out a Christmas card with her and her new partner since she went lesbian, and pushing that agenda. And the transgender agenda and the agenda of child abuse through sexual education it's not even sexual education at all. It's mind-numbing, brainwashing destruction of a child. Now, by the time these children are so screwed up from the time they enter school, probably till the age they're 12, they're probably going to want to kill themselves. And we fix that for you here in Ontario, too. Anyways, folks, I didn't mean to be depressed, but that had to get told. See the Pope, give the fingers for me. I appreciate that. And hope you send a positive picture of and I shall be back here on Sunday at noon. Take care, everybody. We're out of here. Bye-bye.